And we're rolling. Hello again, friends, and you are my friends. Um, Today's topic of discussion, we're going to talk about connecting wires in a marine environment. I have been subjected to and have seen connectors on the internet. Promoted on Facebook, on YouTube. Amazon sells a shit ton of them. And for a temporary fix, yeah, sure, might get you by. But we're going to go into a deep delve here. The first connectors that I'm speaking of are these clear, they look like butt connectors. Excuse me. What a butt connector is a butt connector. Okay, this is a good one. The ones you're seeing are clear. They might have a dotted colored line on the jacketing. So for instance, this is blue. This is for like up to 16 gauge, 14 gauge cable. You strip your jacketing off of your conductor. You slide your conductor in each end. One on the index finger, one on the thumb. You'd slide your connectors in here and down here till they meet in the middle, and then you crimp here and you crimp here. You get a good solid connection, and then you take your Bic lighter or your propane torch or your heat gun, and this particular type has a a weather resistant adhesive inside of it that oozes out. And basically this connector does not look like this anymore. This would be the fat part of the connector, and these would be shrunk down over your wire insulation, your primary wire insulation. These are good. I've used these over the course of 15, 18 years when I was in business up in Philly, and I've never had one of these fail. My preferred method is soldering and heat shrinking, where you strip the wire jacketing down, you get to the conductor, you twist the two conductors together, you heat the conductor with a soldering iron, and then you feed your solder into it and watch what happens. The solder will run up the wire. It'll actually kind of whopper jaw or distort the jacketing of the wire that you're soldering together, but that's a sign of a good connection. You know you got a good connection there. You slide your heat shrink over. You always double or triple the size of your joint with heat shrink, and then you take your Bic lighter and then you watch your adhesive ooze out if you're buying the right heat shrink, and that makes a secure connection. One that I would not be wary of. Now, with the clear butt connectors that they're selling on Amazon and is being promoted all over the internet, and you see them all over the fucking place, there's two problems there. One, they look just like this, but they're clear, and they might have a dotted colored line on them that dictates wire gauge size. Okay, but they do not have the barrel inside that this one does. I can show you this. You can see the dark spot in the middle between my thumb and my forefinger. That is a barrel connector. You slide your wires in there, you crimp this end, you crimp this end, and then you heat it, and the plastic shrinks down over the wire insulation, and there's a sealant in there. That is the preferred method. The ones you're seeing have a small band of, I don't even know if it's fucking solder or what the hell it is, but right in the middle, and you just slide your two wires in there and take your Bic lighter and light it up, and it all shrinks down, and you're good. It's destined for failure. Number one, I have not seen a metal that melts before plastic. Number one. Okay, number two, what's your wire conductor that you're trying to join together look like? Is it green? Is it dull? Does it have kind of gray tint to it, even if it's copper? That's not clean. Number three, anybody worth their salt that knows how to weld or solder or braze or anything knows that you have to get both base metals to the point that your connector metal, which would be your solder in the instance of the clear jobbies, not this one, but the clear jobbies, would have to melt and join together into. Okay, so if you're welding two pieces of metal together, you have two pieces of metal, and you have a conductor that lights it up and heats it up and joins it together, and your welding rod or your wire is your filler material that is supposed to fill the voids up. You don't have them in them fucking Amazon goddamn butt connectors. It's just not happening. The only thing that's holding that goddamn that connection secure is your glue and your insulation that's on the outer jacketing of that connector. Okay? It's going to fail. I use this type exclusively, or I solder and heat shrink. Only way. The next one that I've been seeing on the internet, and I don't even have a connector to show you. You're just going to have to take the keywords here and do the research on yourself. The next ones I've been seeing are these glorified phone connections. And what I mean by that is they are a connector that you shove two conductors up in the bottom of it, and it's got a different colored end. It's circular, and you place your pliers on that circular end and you crimp them down, and that's supposed to make your connection. Folks, that's a glorified Scotch lock. Another keyword, Scotch lock. Look it up. But those are not secure. And I will explain to you how those work. Those whiz-bang connectors that you're seeing on the internet, you stick your wires in, crimp them down. Let me show you how the hell they work. Okay, because I think after this, you might take the old man's advice. I don't know. If you do, cool. If you don't, you can pay me now or pay me later. I don't care, but the choice is you're going to pay me. Say that this is your main wire. You're trying to feed an accessory, and here is your other wire. And what a Scotch lock is it caps over both wires, and it's got a little flap. You fold it over and you crimp it down with pliers, and then it's supposed to make a secure connection, quick and easy. Well, there's a problem with that. Scotch locks, there's no weather resistance on either end of it. It's just open. And these are no different. They are no different. They're a glorified Scotch lock. You shove the wire in there, and I'm going to go on the basis of a Scotch lock here. Your main wire, your secondary wire comes in. Your main wire is what you want to tap into. Your secondary wire comes in. You slip the connection over both, and then you crimp it down. The problem there is the connection inside is like it's a 3-bladed prong. So your main wire, this is your main wire. Here, let's just so your main wire. You come in and you crimp on that, and then your secondary wire comes in on that, and you crimp it down. And basically, it's 2 blades that's coming in and cutting the insulation on your main conductors, and that's what's making the connection. So you're not having the gauge of wire together to make a secure connection. You went from, say, a 10 gauge down to, say, a 14 because of the physicality of how it fucking works. And then you got no weather tight seal. Number one, it's going to be a hot spot. Number two, well, I should say number one in this instance. Number one, no weather protection. Number two, you've taken a 10 gauge cable and reduced it down to this size of cable, and you basically got a fuse. Every fucking time I see a Scotch lock fail, it's always at the connection. Always. Always. No ifs, ands, or buts. And these new ones that are coming out are the same fucking principle. You just shove your wires up in there and you need to crimp the end up here with your pliers, and then you get this little ball in it. Fuck that. No. Those were big in the car stereo realm. I've seen Scotch locks, and I've seen even these connections, because they originated back when we used to have things called landlines. The phone companies used to like to connect wiring in junction boxes out on the street with this shit, but they were on a smaller scale. But now they're promoting them as, hey, here's 10 gauge, here's, you know, 12 to 10 and 14 to 12 and then 16 to 18 and so on and so forth. So they promote them in different colors. The end that you crimp is going to be a different color. But, dude, they're glorified Scotch locks. Don't use them. Don't use them. Don't. If you got the wire to shove two conductors up into a connector and crimp it, you got enough wherewithal to strip the wires, join them together, either join them with a butt connector similar to what I showed you here. This is I think this is a 12 to 14, or 16 to 14. I don't remember. I just know what the hell fits in them. And you crimp them, and then you heat shrink them down to seal them, or you solder and heat shrink them. Anything you see on the internet as being a whiz bang freaking, oh, it's great, it's new. Take it with a grain of salt. Do you know how many of those clear butt connectors that don't need any tools, and you just need a Bic lighter to make a secure connection? You know how many of them I cut out of people's machines because they've had failures? Multiple. And this is the new advent with a connector. You crimp it on top and your two wires come in the bottom. Fuck those things. No, you're either going to pay me now or you're going to pay me later. If I find them in your rig, I will tell you those are not secure. You have you made the connection, or whoever the hell made the connection. Fix it right, or you're going to pay me now or pay me later, because you're going to come back to me with something that's wrong, and I guarantee you that's where the first fucking fault is going to lie, is in your wiring connections. So be mindful. Do it or not. Choice is always up to you, and above all, stay tuned, and we'll see you later.